You've always heard, go no contact with the narcissist to heal. But what if the narcissist is the one who goes no contact with you? They vanish, block you everywhere, go silent like they never existed, and suddenly you're asking yourself, what the hell is happening? Am I the toxic one? Why is this situation flipped upside down? In this video, I'm breaking down the truth behind a narcissist's no-contact move. This isn't closure, it's strategy, it's psychological warfare. It's a way to make you panic, lose control, and chase them, just so they can regain control over you. Maybe they've got a new supply. Maybe they're scared you'll expose them. Or maybe you've become too strong, too aware, and they can't manipulate you anymore. If you're the one left behind, if the narcissist cut you off, watch this video to the end. I'll help you decode their true motives and most importantly show you how to take your power back. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon and share this video if it resonates. Let's start the journey of awareness and healing right now. When a narcissist initiates no contact, it's not an act of letting go. It's a calculated move designed to manipulate your emotions on a deeper level. Their silence is a silent scream. I still control you, even without saying a word. They don't disappear because they're bored of you or because you're not good enough. No, they withdraw knowing that their absence will leave you spinning in pain, self-doubt, and craving their presence. This is a form of reverse hoovering. Instead of luring you back with sweet talk, they vanish, so that you become the one who panics, self-blames, and even tries to reach out. And the moment you break that silence, even with a desperate message or a painful question, they smile in triumph. To them it's a confession that you've forgiven them, that you still need them, that they've won. The danger lies in this. While you're drowning in questions like, what did I do wrong, or why did they leave me? They're sitting back, relishing the feeling of being desired, chased, even though they're the one who caused the bleeding wounds in your soul. Their disappearance isn't a sign of closure, it's the beginning of a new cycle of manipulation, where you become the one at fault and they wear the convincing mask of the victim. They want you to feel like the failure, the abandoned one, so that you willingly hand over your heart again, only for them to crush it once more. So why does the narcissist choose no contact? Is it because they've found a new supply, someone else to manipulate? Or are they afraid you've seen through their mask? The truth is, there's no single answer, but every move they make is calculated. Let's uncover the real reasons behind this toxic silence. One of the most common reasons a narcissist abruptly cuts off contact is because they found a new supply, someone else to soak up their attention, affection, and energy. This doesn't mean they love the new person, nor does it mean they're happy. To a narcissist, relationships are just tools. When the old tool becomes difficult or starts pushing back, they discard it and replace it. You, once the person they demanded all their love and sacrifice from, suddenly become expendable while they move on to the next target with the same sweet love-bombing tactics they once used on you. But don't mistake the new person for being better or special. They're simply the next victim, unaware that a trap awaits. And when that supply runs dry, as you did, they'll cycle through yet again. Ironically, in the eyes of outsiders, their sudden disappearance makes you look like the one who got dumped, while they appear to have moved on gracefully. They might flaunt a new relationship on social media, flash happy smiles, or even spin a sad tale about how they had to walk away because you were too toxic or not worthy. That leaves you feeling ashamed, insecure, and wondering, am I not enough? Just as they intended. They know their silence will plant poisonous needles in your mind. I'm not good enough. I did something wrong. I'm not deserving of love. But stop right there. This is their goal. They didn't leave because of your shortcomings. They left to make you believe in your own. Another reason? They're afraid of being exposed. Narcissists live in a world of lies and illusions about their own perfection. When you begin to spot inconsistencies in their story, when their gaslighting makes you doubt reality, or when manipulative patterns reappear, they sense danger. You're no longer a compliant puppet. You start to ask questions and demand honesty, and that threatens their fragile ego. Instead of facing it, they vanish. They block all contact. Not because they respect you or want you to heal, but because they want to escape before you call them out. Their silence is a shield protecting the perfect image they've spent so long building. Some narcissists cut off contact because you've become too strong. You no longer react the way they wanted. You don't tremble at their implied threats. You aren't drowning in fake apologies. You've stepped outside their gaslight spiral. For a narcissist, an empowered victim with firm boundaries is a threat. They can't stand seeing you stand up and say no. When you put yourself first, their power crumbles. They withdraw, but never with sincerity. They'll pretend it was their choice, that they decided to leave, preserving a shred of dignity before you realize they're the real losers. In some cases, their no contact isn't out of spite for you either. They do it to drive you crazy with unanswered questions. This silence is a form of psychological violence. You're left with a never-ending list of questions. Why? What did I do wrong? Am I not enough? They don't need to shout or threaten. You torture yourself by wondering what you could have done differently. Every sleepless night, every check of your phone only to see emptiness. That's another victory for them. They know their silence will haunt you, making you wonder if there's some way to fix a relationship, despite being the ones who destroyed it. Another reason most people don't see, they want to maintain a clean image with the new person. If they're the one ending things, they can control the narrative. I tried, but they were too negative. I had to walk away. To the new partner, they appear as the wronged, gentle soul. You, the one who really hurt, are painted as the villain in a story where your side isn't allowed. They turn you into the antagonist so they can play victim again. And that double betrayal cuts the deepest. And here's the worst part. If you react by reaching out, texting, calling, or even confronting their new supply, they win. Suddenly, you're labeled clingy, crazy ex, and your reputation is smeared. They've already predicted your reaction. Every misstep you make only reinforces their story. You become living proof of why they left you, even though the truth is completely reversed. Some narcissists go no contact because they're out of lies. They've run out of excuses, apology scripts, tears, or sob stories to keep you hooked. You've seen their true colors. The empty promises, the hollow apologies, the pity they use to control you. With no more illusions to sustain, they walk away. Not because they regret it, but because they no longer can. Their silence is a silent confession. They've lost control, but they'll never admit defeat. The most important thing to remember, their no contact, isn't liberation. Only you can make that choice. If you keep seeking answers from the person who crushed you, you're only deepening the narcissistic cycle. Every message you send, every attempt to understand them, hands back control. Don't let them keep puppeteering from the shadows. Instead of asking, why did they do this? Ask yourself, why do I need an explanation from someone who twisted the truth? Rather than relying on them for closure, create it yourself. If you need the person who hurt you to heal you, you're still trapped in their puppet strings. But the moment they disappear is not the time for you to rush in with explanations, demands, or pleas for fairness. It's the time for you to stand still, step back, and finally see the game you've been trapped in. You don't need to send long messages to get closure. You don't need to beg for one last conversation to end the chapter. You don't need them to close any chapter in your life, because someone who used silence as a punishment can never be the one to help you heal. The first thing you need to do is accept the truth. They chose to leave, and that's a gift, even if it still hurts right now. Next step, break the narcissistic thought loop completely. Stop torturing yourself with unanswerable questions like, what if I had said it more gently? What if I had been better? Would they have stayed? What if I were more attractive, more successful, more? All of those questions are double-edged blade. They cut into your ability to recover and feed a false sense of self-blame. Instead, ask the questions that liberate you. What have I learned from this experience? How can I rebuild my boundaries stronger than before? How do I make sure I never repeat this cycle with someone else? More importantly, you must reclaim your self-worth from them. When a narcissist leaves you without explanation, it doesn't mean you lack value. It means they can no longer manipulate you, and that terrifies them. Look back at the journey. How many times did you forgive? How hard did you try to understand them? How much did you hurt yourself just to keep a relationship that was hurting you? So their silence isn't a loss. It's proof that you are awakening. It's a sign that you reached your limit, and that shook their power. Don't fear the emptiness they left behind. Fill it with your own voice, with the self-love you forgot when you tried to love someone who couldn't love anyone but themselves. You don't need closure from a narcissist. Closure is not something they give you, it's something you create for yourself. And one day, when you look back, you'll see it clearly. They didn't leave to hurt you. They left because you finally began to see the truth. And don't rush into any new relationship just to prove yourself. This might seem like a natural reaction, a way to affirm that you are still lovable, still valuable, and still capable of attracting others after being hurt by a narcissist. But in reality, it's just another trap your mind unwittingly sets for itself. When you've just come out of a toxic relationship, your heart and spirit are far more fragile than you might realize. Hastily seeking someone new to fill the void left by the narcissist not only fails to help you heal, but could also propel you into new emotional whirlwinds, perhaps even another toxic relationship. The narcissist has already made you doubt your self-worth, and if you don't take the time to rebuild your confidence from within, you risk seeking validation from people who don't deserve you. Take a moment to recognize this. When a narcissist chooses no contact with you, it's not because you're not good enough, not attractive enough, or not valuable enough. On the contrary, it's often their tactic to control the situation, to leave you in a state of confusion and self-blame. Their version of no contact is not the same as the one you might choose to protect yourself. For them, it's a form of psychological manipulation, a way to keep you obsessed with them, to make you question what you did wrong and to make you crave their attention again. They want you to feel abandoned, rejected, and sometimes they even hope you'll chase after them, begging for their return. But this is the moment you need to realize that their silence is not a judgment of your worth. It's an opportunity for you to break free from that toxic cycle. When the narcissist disappears from your life, the first feeling you might experience is emptiness. You may feel as though you've lost a vital part of yourself, as if you no longer know who you are. This happens because during the time you spent with the narcissist, they gradually eroded your personal boundaries. They made you focus on pleasing them, meeting their needs, and sometimes you even forgot what you truly wanted. They may have used tactics like love bombing to make you addicted to their attention, followed by devaluation, making you feel like you constantly had to strive to be worthy of their affection. When they suddenly go no contact, you're left with a whirlwind of conflicting emotions, pain, relief, anger, and sadness. But this is also the moment to begin the journey of rediscovering yourself. Healing from narcissistic abuse is far from easy, but it's one of the most meaningful things you can do for yourself. First, accept that what you're feeling is completely normal. You have the right to feel sad, angry, and disoriented. Don't blame yourself for loving a narcissist or for not recognizing the toxic signs sooner. Narcissists are often skilled at hiding their true nature, especially in the early stages of a relationship. They have a way of making you believe they're perfect, that you've found true love. But when the curtain falls, you realize it was all a performance, staged to serve their needs. Forgiving yourself for believing in that performance is the first step toward moving forward. Next, take time to reconnect with yourself. This means listening to your own needs that were likely neglected during your time with the narcissist. Ask yourself, what makes you feel joyful? What brings you peace? It could be simple things like reading a favorite book, taking a walk in the park, or spending time with loved ones. It could be bigger things, like pursuing a hobby you've set aside or setting new goals for yourself. Whatever it is, do these things for you, not to prove to the narcissist or anyone else that you're okay. A crucial part of the healing process is learning to set personal boundaries. In a relationship with a narcissist, your boundaries were likely violated repeatedly. They may have made you feel guilty for saying no, or made you think that prioritizing your own needs was selfish. But boundaries aren't selfish. They're how you protect yourself and maintain self-respect. Start with small boundaries, like refusing to do things that make you uncomfortable or carving out time for yourself without feeling the need to explain. Over time, you'll realize that saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who loves and respects themselves. Another thing to keep in mind is that you may experience moments of missing the narcissist. This doesn't mean you're weak or that you still love them. It's just part of the recovery process. You might recall the good moments, the times they made you feel special, but remind yourself that those moments weren't real. They were part of the love-bombing tactic they used to control you. Instead of dwelling on those memories, write them down. Journaling is a powerful way to process your emotions and see the truth more clearly. Write about the times they hurt you, the times they made you feel small, and the times you realized you deserved better. Additionally, seek support from people you trust. This could be family, friends, or even a support group for those who've experienced narcissistic abuse. Talking about what you've been through not only helps you release emotions, but also reminds you that you're not alone. There are many people out there who've been in similar situations and they've overcome them. Listen to their stories, learn from their experiences, and let them remind you that you're stronger than you think. If possible, consider seeking help from a psychologist or therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse and personality disorders. They can help you better understand what you've been through and provide tools for healing. A good therapist won't judge you. They'll walk alongside you on your journey to reclaim your confidence and build a better life. They can also help you identify red flags in future relationships to avoid falling into another toxic dynamic. Finally, remember that the narcissist's choice to go no contact with you is a gift, even if it doesn't feel like it at first. Their silence is your chance to focus on yourself and rebuild the life you deserve. You don't need to prove anything to them or anyone else. Your worth doesn't lie in how others perceive you, but in how you see yourself. Take the time to love yourself, heal your wounds, and become the best version of yourself. When you do, you'll realize that the narcissist's silence isn't a loss. It's liberation. Be patient with yourself. Healing is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel strong, and days when you feel like you're slipping backward. But every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to a life of freedom, happiness, and fulfillment. You deserve it, and you have the strength to achieve it. Don't wait for an apology, an explanation, or closure, because when a narcissist walks away, they've already calculated everything. Their silence is not impulsive or random. It's a carefully executed move in the long-running power game they've been playing. A narcissist never leaves without a plan. It's never just boredom or a need for space. Every move is designed to keep you in a state of anxiety, obsession, and dependence. Even after they've vanished from your life, they want you trapped in a spiral of self-doubt, asking, "What did I do wrong?" or "Why didn't they say anything?" While they move on, unbothered, never looking back. Understand this. Narcissists don't apologize because they never believe they're wrong. In their world, they are the center of the universe. Always right, always perfect. Any mistake, any conflict is someone else's fault. And in this case, that someone is you. When they cut off contact, they don't feel the need to explain because, to them, you don't deserve to know. They see your pain and confusion as a reward, fuel for their inflated ego. An apology would threaten the innocent image they've built. They'd rather let you suffer in silence than admit to any wrongdoing. And if you've ever received an apology from them, take a closer look. It wasn't genuine remorse, it was just another tactic to keep you around, to keep you useful. An explanation? Don't count on it. Narcissists don't explain because ambiguity is one of their most powerful weapons. When they disappear without a word, they know the lack of answers will drive you mad. You'll create 100 stories in your head. Do they hate me? Was I not good enough? Or worse, have they already found someone else? Every unanswered question is a blade they've planted in you without ever lifting a finger. They deliberately leave you in limbo because truth doesn't matter to them. What matters is that you suffer. They want you to torture yourself with hypotheticals, to crave an explanation they'll never give. And closure? That's the most luxurious fantasy of all. A narcissist will never give you a clean ending because they don't want to shut the door completely. Their silence is a way of keeping you as a backup option. They know that as long as you're still obsessed, still waiting for that final word, you're not truly free from their control. They might return months or even years later with a random message, a fake nostalgic call, just to test whether you're still easy to manipulate. They don't want you to move on. They don't want you to find peace, because that would mean they've lost power over you. A clear goodbye would set you free, and that's something they never want you to have. So you've made it to the end of this journey, unpacking the toxic silence of a narcissist who chose to go no contact. And if you're in that space right now, feeling abandoned, confused, or questioning your worth, remember this: you are not alone. You don't lose your value because someone lost the ability to control you. You don't need their apology, their explanation, or their version of closure to move on. You are the closure. You are the author of the next chapter. The one that's about awakening, healing, and taking your power back. Their disappearance isn't the end of you, it's the end of their manipulation, and the beginning of the strongest journey you'll ever take. The journey back to yourself. If this video spoke to you in any way, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share it with someone who needs to hear these words. This channel is here to help you see clearly, not who they are, but who you are. And remember this: you don't need them to come back to feel whole. You just need you awake, empowered and bold enough to say, I deserve better than this.